Welcome back to Beach Chair Chats. My name is Brian Kaiser here on it's a Friday before a holiday, so everyone's excited for a weekend, a long weekend. Before that long weekend happens, I wanted to make it a really important interview before the Memorial Day for a really kick-ass person who's not a kick-ass mom, but a mindfulness coach, entrepreneur, business. She just does all the things. And she's a rock star. So welcome to the show, Katie Burns. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's Friday and it's a good time. So
It's
talk a little
Friday.
bit.
I saw on your threads you're ready for tequila,
I
so
am ready for I was a well, 4.5 hour meetings will do you in. Is
are you always ready for tequila?
well, who is not? I mean, tequila's not a bad thing to be ready for, but those 4.5 hour meetings are brutal. There should be, you can't even put that in an email. I will admit it.
Yeah.
I
Who
did turn the
plans
ca
it?
I did turn the camera off and did other work because that's 4.5 hours of
Yeah.
time. If I feel like I don't get anything done, I'll get in trouble. So
Who has 4.5 hours?
I know, hopefully you never have to do 4.5 hour meetings in your life, but in your world, talk about your mindfulness or being mindful of meetings, but your mindfulness coach work.
Be mindful of meetings. So I started just a little over a year ago, year and a half ago. I started my business and basically just working with women who kind of feel like the traditional mindfulness strategies and ideas that are out there don't necessarily work for them. Um, a lot of meditation specifically is like sit still for 30 minutes or you're not doing it right. And that's
Like right now.
such a lie. You don't need to sit still for 30 minutes to meditate at all. So just really focusing on that. And then one of the things when I started was so much of the mindfulness space and the mindset space in particular was all about discipline and commitment. And like, if you don't show up every single day and you don't do whatever X, Y, and Z worth of meditation and doing your stuff, you're not being good at mindfulness and you're
Hmm.
not having the right mindset. And it was just so toxic that I was like, wait
Yeah.
a minute, there's a whole other space out there of like non-toxic positivity and mindfulness
Yes.
that needs more attention. So that's where my business kind of
So you're
falls.
the non-toxic, right? Mm, good. Well,
Yes.
non-toxic
Trying,
mindfulness, trying to, right?
trying the non-toxic positivity.
So when I think about trying to be mindful, right? There's a concept of being disciplined, or there's this like just a little bit here and there. Is that kind of how the way you look at it here? Like say, just take some time in the morning, afternoon, evening. How do you see it with your clients when you help coach them about being just proper and mindful with themselves?
Yeah. So I, as a single parent who works a full-time 9 to 5 and
Hmm.
is running and starting a business, for me, my mindfulness is always very kind of sporadic. Like I don't
Hmm.
believe in, I know mornings are great, but I don't believe in the like, if you don't do 15 minutes of journaling every single morning,
Yeah.
you're failing, whatever, those narratives. So a lot of it is about consistency, but in a way that works for you and your lifestyle and who you are, right?
Hmm.
So consistency might be once a week. That's still consistent, right?
Something. It's
It might
something.
be every time you look at your journal and you remember, like, oh, shoot, I could journal.
Hmm.
So that, like, removing that pressure of you have to do it perfectly,
Yeah.
which I think a lot of women in particular
Hmm.
have this idea of like, you have to do things perfectly.
Well, it is that unfortunate societal stigma for women to have to be perfect, right? All things, right? You have to
Mhm.
be perfect in your
Yeah.
job and your role, as a parent. Everything you do, you just like there's
Mhm.
this like this super pressure that like you have to do this
Mhm.
right. And if you
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
you fail, right? I've had some in the past episodes I talked about, women have to juggle all the things, right? And being a single mom too,
Mhm.
you're really juggling. Like it's not just ball, it's like bowling balls are huge, and you're just juggling all these things, right? And then all of a sudden someone throws something at you, like one more thing, right? And so sometimes, like I said,
Mhm.
taking the time when you get it is important. Because if you prescribe to the consistency and you do and you miss days and you start to feel like I'm failing at this, and then it just creeps in.
Mhm.
Have you for yourself in this journey, right? Did you go from where you had almost be perfect? How did you get to this point of like it's okay to do this way? How did you get to this point in your life?
A lot of therapy.
Therapy's good, yes.
A lot of therapy. No, but I mean, that was part of it. And through that therapy work, we learned a lot on
Mm-hmm.
releasing some of the ideas of perfection, like both looking at it societally and then how it showed up in my family and how it showed up
Mm-hmm.
for me personally. Um, and then from that, my therapist really encouraged me, like, hey, just start doing shit that you're bad at. Am I allowed to swear?
You can swear all
I
you
forgot
want.
to ask ahead
It's
of
it's you
time.
could it's a swear.
Are
Go
you
for
good?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a beach chair. If you're at the beach, you
Okay.
say this is
Okay.
fucking crazy.
So, yeah,
Yes,
perfect.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Do shit that you're bad at, right? You're
Perfect.
badass at, right?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I started painting and I started writing and I started, doing things that I loved and I wanted to do that I knew I totally sucked at. And just doing them shitty
Hmm.
and not putting the pressure on yourself to like, oh, I can only do this if I'm perfect. Or like, I have to be the best artist, even though I've never painted before.
Mm.
Like, removing that pressure and just choosing to do things terribly sometimes,
Or
right?
just do it
Like,
your
just
way.
showing up and
Yeah.
starting. Um, yeah.
Well, that's the thing too with
Yeah. So showing
anything.
up and starting and trying.
Well, no, that's
Sorry. I
yeah.
think
That
my connection is bad. It kept showing up saying low bandwidth.
I think it's Friday. We all have low bandwidth at some point. It's the day before a holiday. I think bandwidth is definitely low by Friday. Um, but I think, you think about the idea of showing up, right? And, you know, also being a mom. It's a full-time gig, right? Full-time job in its own right. And it's probably the most important role that you probably put on your shoulders outside of the business, outside of the work you do. Would you say being a mom is like the most important thing for you?
Yeah, definitely. Especially, I mean, my son and I've been a single mom since my son was 11 months old.
Mhm.
So it's been just us for a very long time. And that is important that, I'm building that foundation for him. And I've made a lot of decisions around showing up as mom and building that.
Almost like it's not just the two of us. It's not. The two of us is not really about couples, but it's just the two of you, right? And you do this, but I think you probably
Mhm.
model the behaviors too, just by showing up, even for your own self, taking pride as a mom to show your son, like, hey, you can do this. You don't have to be perfect either. Just try
Mhm.
this and go with it, right? Do you feel like that
No.
message is sticking with them? Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the time. He started a new hobby not too long ago and he's been watching these YouTube videos of like these people doing it who have been doing it for like 20 years. And he's like, mine is so terrible compared to that. And I'm like, because you just started. Like, so really, and letting him try it and do it in his own way and reassuring him that like you're not terrible at it. Like you're learning and that's part of this.
Well, yeah, heck, it's like doing this podcast, right? I mean, just like probably like you for your business, like this is not like a business, but I did sit 2 years thinking about this thing, and now I'm doing it, and
Mhm.
I'm invested. And am I doing it right? I have no idea what I'm doing. Half the time, like it's like
I mean, you're
TikTok. I
doing
have
it
I have no
and
idea to
it's
use
fun.
TikTok. It's fun. I enjoy the obviously knowing people, or not even knowing them either, which is helpful. But that's always more terrifying because I have no idea who the heck they are. Obviously, I have known you for a while, so it's just kind of like, so it's not like it's not known, but it's fun, right? And you learn as you go. And I think with anything that you do, even with your work that you do as a mindfulness coach, there's probably days you feel like I'm on it, I'm good. Do you ever have days where you feel like I'm just not in it today and I need to help people? Do you ever have those days? Besides having low
Oh
bandwidth on
yeah.
a Friday? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure. And that was part of when I left education.
Mm-hmm.
I was like so burnt out that I was like, okay, I I just feel like I can't do any of it anymore. Like I felt like I wasn't being a good teacher. I felt like I wasn't being a good parent. I was like so burnt out in every aspect that I was like, something needs to change.
Mm-hmm.
And that I made a lot of decisions. Obviously, I left my career, started a whole new one. I moved to a new town.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up buying a house. I made a lot of decisions in that year and a half to change literally everything. So,
Well, change can be scary. I think sometimes when people think of the word change, the word burnout too is real. And working in education, I mean, you probably talk to
mhm.
any K through 12 person right now, they're probably counting down the days until the very last day of school. I work in higher ed, different world. We have burnout, but not to the same level as educators do to K through 12. But burnout, when you can't do the things that you love doing and you do them well and enjoy it, yeah, you have to pivot, right? And make a change. And it's terrifying, but when you do it, what was your first change? Obviously, getting out of teaching was one. When you made that pivot and actually settled on it, how did you feel after that point?
I felt so. Hold on. I feel like these are two questions. So, one, my first change
Might be, yeah.
um, was like, no, that's okay. My first change, like before I even started leaving teaching, I started really doing a lot of work around mindset
Mm-hmm.
and like journaling and really, and obviously, I already talked about therapy and like really getting to know myself because I had spent so long being what everyone else needed me to be
Mm-hmm.
as a teacher, as a person, as a parent, that I was like, who the fuck even am
Mm-hmm.
I? So,
Yeah.
like, that was my first step before I even chose to leave teaching. And a lot of that mindfulness and mindset work really was crucial in that and getting to a place where I was like, okay, I do want to leave teaching. And especially as an educator, especially I feel like maybe you get this too.
Mm-hmm.
But as a K-12 educator, there's this idea that like if you're a teacher, you're a teacher forever. And if you're
Mm-hmm.
leaving, you're abandoning the kids, you're like you just can't cut it. And like so there was a lot around that too that I had to work on to
Yeah.
really be able to say like, no, I was a good teacher. I did 13 years. I won fucking teacher of the year. Like
Hell
I
yeah.
know I was
Shout
good at
outs. Teacher of the year. All right.
that. But like I'm allowed to change my mind.
Yes.
So that was the first piece. And then once I started applying to leave teaching, I mean, I applied to 100 and I think it was 115 jobs by the time I got my actual job.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then once I got it and I was like, I put in my resignation, and
Mm-hmm.
they coincided because I had to move for my new job. So I put in my resignation. I got a place to live, and then I was like, okay, we are doing this. And we
Yes.
literally moved, and I started my new job in the same month. So um, once we got settled, I felt like, okay, we did it right. And then once
Mm-hmm.
I really settled into my new role and realized how much better it was for me and my brain and my
Mm-hmm.
life. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, yeah, there's I should have done this a while ago.
Well, it's like that holy shit moment. It's like, wow, like all this time, right? And it's a fascinating part too, but I think what I have to do is shout out to your buy yourself a coffee link because you did get teacher of the year. I want to put that on the threads to say people buy her coffee because she got teacher of the year, damn it. All right. And so
It was a while ago.
doesn't
It was a
matter.
while ago.
It's my show, my promo. All right.
Wait, can
So
we time out?
yes,
Wait, no, we need to time out because I know you're the editor of this podcast, so you'll probably cut this out anyway. But
maybe.
also, everyone, you should use Brian's Buy Me a Coffee link and buy him a coffee for producing this podcast
I
and for all the time and effort and energy he puts into having these conversations and editing and all the things he's doing. So support him by using his Buy Me a Coffee link. And now
well,
you actually have to make your Buy Me a Coffee link.
I will have to do that now, and I'll have to cut this video and just replay
No
that
pressure.
over like an advertisement over and over and over again.
Yeah, no, seriously. I can record a video for you. I can
I'm
I can do the advertisement voice.
I appreciate that. Yes, it's like the movie voice. Like people say, the voice. I hate doing these things at the time. I will admit it because I'm the biggest critic of myself. Like I had to watch
Mhm.
when I do the videos now. That it's like I'm gonna do videos. Why? Because then at the see, it's like why is my head look bigger? I mean, it looks normal, but I see it's like a tomato. So I'm gonna put glasses on, so it doesn't look like I have small eyes. What's the hell's happening to me? Then my voice sounds funny. Then it sounds slow. I'm like, am I just what the hell? I have low bandwidth. Um, but
Yeah.
outside
As a
of the work,
mindset coach, I want you to reframe some of those, but
I know
we'll work on that.
self-deprecation is a thing. Therapy would work for
Mhm,
me
mhm.
probably. I did therapy once and I knew all the things. The problem is when you do the work with mental health and you go see a therapist, it's really hard to do because you know what's wrong and you know the problems and they're going to tell you on it. And it's just, yeah, doing the work. But I think for men out there, if they listen to this, it's important to do the work. If they don't put your problems on everybody else to fix you. If any men listen to this, I'll cut that promo. Like, do the work, show up, address your shit, get
Mhm,
over it, and move on. Don't put it on everybody else to be a burden, right? Just kind of like the same thing. Did everything else for everybody else, right? And you kind of lost yourself along the way, right? But now you're finding
mhm.
yourself, right? You're doing this thing, and you're doing amazing work, right? But on the downtime, when you get a minute, when you get a minute, the beach,
Yes.
right? This is the beach share chats. Do
Mhm.
you love the beach? I think you love the beach.
I
I'm
do.
pretty positive you love the
I
beach.
do love the beach. Yes.
Mhm. What about it?
I do.
Does it inspire you? Does it help inspire you for the mindfulness, or do you just go there to check out?
Definitely does. So I, this past weekend, went to the beach just to journal, grabbed a coffee, brought my journal, went to the beach. It was a Connecticut beach, which,
I know
sorry, Connecticut, your beaches
that's
aren't that
okay.
good,
I agree
but
with you. They suck.
they're
It's
not that
water,
great.
it's sand. We should have complained, but they
Yeah,
aren't great.
yeah, but yeah, not that great. But yeah, anytime I go to the beach by myself, because
Hmm.
obviously it's different going to the beach with my child, because that
Hmm.
is nice and fun
Hmm.
and entertaining, but not a relaxing, mindfulness, inspiring kind of situation. Usually it's
Hmm.
like, Mom, get in this 40-degree water and let's see how far we can go into the waves. And that is
Get
not as
hypothermia.
peaceful as
No,
when
get
you
hypo.
go by yourself.
They get hypothermia in the process. But plus
Yeah.
two, because it is you when you do all the things right as a single mom, right, and you work in your career, you do your business, you do all having that time for yourself is important, right?
Mhm.
In order for you to do all those things, to do them well, right? And then if
Mhm.
you're getting just burned out, it's possible that you can still get burned out because there's only one you and you can't do everything. And in order for you to do it well, you need that downtime for yourself, right? And it's important. Plus you have your dog, right? Many
Mhm.
videos of
We do.
precious Cleo
Cleo.
online doing everything that the
I
dogs
know.
do, right? As a
Yeah.
dog
I
mom.
actually have another one. I have another one coming up. Cleo being a maniac.
Cleo the maniac, I've seen, she's a maniac for sure. But yeah, she keeps you on her toes, right? Dogs are
Yeah.
wonderful like
Oh,
that.
yeah. She's very sweet.
Yes. But you haven't taught the dog to get a coffee for you yet. That's if you can do
No.
that and patent that and then breed her and have that out, you can make millions of dog serving,
Unfortunately,
coffee
I
serving
feel like
dogs.
that's gonna happen. But That's okay. She's still
Yeah.
cute.
Yes. Well, yeah, yeah, she's a cute dog. And I think she brings you lots of happiness for sure. Even though she's a pain in the ass sometimes, but that's
Yeah,
what dogs do.
yeah.
But they're dogs. They don't care.
I
At
know.
the end of the day, they just like do their dog thing. It's like, you
And she's
serve
a golden
them.
retriever. She loves everyone and everything, and she's just happy all the time.
I think someone told me at work the other day that there was a student that was just come see me. And she goes, she's so wonderful. But she doesn't know what she's doing in life, but she's so sweet and she's so wonderful. She's like a golden retriever. It's like, don't ruin that for me now, because I have to be like tough on the student. But you just told me she's a
Oh,
golden retriever. I
you had to
can't. Give
yell
me
at the golden
like a
retriever.
a Shar or something. Give me a Shar and like a little smudged up face or a pit bull. It's like, okay, fine, I'll be direct and mean now. I'm not mean, but I have to be direct in this job sometimes, and I have to give people tough advice or tough, feedback. And helping people does get draining. But like I said, doing these things, having conversations with people that I find awesome and fascinating, who have amazing stories and they do amazing accomplishments. I think you're the 32nd person to be on this, and
That's
it's
crazy.
crazy. And
Did
and
you remember when you put this on your vision board in December when you made your vision board?
yeah, I know. And
Does everybody know that? All your audience knows this is on your vision board?
it's on my vision board, and running was on my vision board, and I got sidelined, but that's coming
Mm-hmm.
back. I put my
Mm-hmm.
medals up in
Doing
my
more
office.
work.
You can see the medals back there now in the office. As I can stare at those, and people say, "What are those?" Or I give them out to people, and I'm just kidding. I'll never give them out to anybody because I earned those suckers,
Yeah.
and it's never going to happen again. Probably, maybe not. But yeah, so here we are, and I'm taking some downtime after a few more, and I'm gonna take a little bit of a break because just like mindfulness as well, you got to take a step back a little bit, otherwise you start to lose enjoyment for these things too.
Mhm. Yeah.
So where do you see the mindfulness coaching going from here? Like you said, you just
Oh my goodness.
yeah, dreams, you're bored, or do you want to put them out there
Great
because
question. No, I do. I want to put them out there. So I'm in the process of recording a course on overcoming imposter syndrome. So, like
hmm
some mindfulness activities to do around imposter syndrome. And I just dropped some journal prompts
hmm
that are good for manifesting. So, those are on my website and buy me a coffee.
hmm
And then ultimately, and this is not happening this year, but I need to, or I would like to finish my book and
hmm
publish that. Um, so those are like the big goals for the business.
I think it'll happen.
Um,
We're gonna put it out there. It's
yeah,
on this podcast,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
supplemental messaging.
It's
There could be the Katie Burns podcast in the future. I say that with a very deep tone for some reason. I don't know why that happened,
yeah,
but
yeah.
what'd you
If
call?
there were a Katie Burns podcast, it would be very short because my brain does not do well with podcasts. So I would make them like micro podcasts,
The
like
short burst.
short little podcasts,
So it's like
like
TikTok,
5 minutes.
basically TikTok, right?
Yeah, except without the video
Oh, just no video, right?
and on a platform you can actually, yeah.
I think I
But
surprised someone. I said I
yeah,
wasn't gonna.
I don't think a podcast is on
No,
my list. It
it's
doesn't feel like me.
well, you never say never. You never know. Like you said, you've evolved
Yeah,
so
but
much in your lifetime. You made pivots and changes, and who knows?
mhm,
You can be
who
like one of the
knows?
millions of people that have their own podcasts because they want to. Because that's me. Like, who doesn't have a podcast? All right.
I know.
I think we live in a world where we want to talk to people, and this is one great way to do that. But you never know. Never say never. Would it be the Katie
Mhm.
Burns podcast, or would it be something different, like unique?
That's a really great question. It would definitely be something unique. Um, I considered very briefly doing to women potentially men, but mostly women with
Hmm.
late diagnosed ADHD.
Hmm.
And I was going to call it charcuterie and ADHD. And like we would eat some cheese, kind of like the hot ones where they like,
Yeah. It was like a
progressively get
progressive
spicier
chicken wings.
as
Yeah.
they ask their questions. Like it would be that, but with charcuterie.
Okay.
But I don't have the bandwidth for that right now.
That's
Speaking of
okay.
bandwidth,
Low bandwidth. I just thought of
low
another one
bandwidth.
since
That's a
if I had a tequila one, like hot ones, it'd be called tequila talks and everything to be a question. That would be an interesting show. Or
that
like
would be
five
an
shots of
interesting
tequila.
show. I would not
No, people would be
ever
like,
be
"What
on that
question?"
show.
Like they lost a guest, they passed out. Okay, show's over. Have they
Yeah,
give some legal
I
disclaimers for those? Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
but so
Tequila, I hate.
yes, that's okay. That's okay. Um, so it's a long weekend. What's in store for you this weekend for your downtime?
I am going to read. I have like 4 books in my, so everybody who uses Libby knows that like when you put Libby holds on, they
Mm-hmm.
always all come at the same time. So I had 4 books,
Mm-hmm.
four of my old books show up all at once.
Oh, nice.
So I have plenty of books to read. So I'm going to do some reading, work on
Okay.
some business stuff for
Okay.
sure. Um,
Hey,
Journal, meditate,
I've been
take
trying
my
to
kid
read
to
them.
the store.
Take your kids to the store, and
Yep.
gotta love Costco, right? Shout out to Costco. Get some publicity
Yeah.
for Costco on this thing too, right? I get
Yeah.
all the
I
ads
do.
sponsored by Costco,
Mhm.
but
I
Katie,
can't believe you've never been to Costco.
I have not. It's on the bucket list. It'll have to happen. I
It's got to
know.
go on your vision board.
Vision board. This one thing is like an ad for Costco, and I will just throw that on this thing, and I'll just have to put subliminal thing that they just say, "We're gonna invite you
Mhm.
here, okay? We're gonna make it happen." And I'll go to Costco and eat some of
Mhm.
the Costco food, and probably get
Mhm.
amazed by all the overabundance of things that I could probably buy and
Mhm.
eat that I don't eat. But I had
Mhm.
interviewed another guy the other day who's a wine and liquor store owner, and he said there's in my own home state of Nebraska, they have bars in the grocery store. Crazy, right? And like, hey, not a bad idea because
Mhm.
one, I hate grocery shopping. I do. It's like the most expensive, horribly designed game. Like you walk into the store and you see all these like people, right? You're overstimulated by all these options, and then you have to navigate this place. And some are like not paying attention. Some block they're by the end caps, or some are parked by the pole that's parked in the middle of the store. Like who designed the store? You don't put a pole in the middle of an aisle. And they stop there and they look at all the different types of options. I'm like, just pick a goddamn can, all right? Just move it. It's all the same. Black beans are black beans,
Some of
okay?
us are doing math to make sure that
Uh,
we're getting the right best value
I'm
for our
just,
unit price versus
I
our price
know, but
of
I'm like,
purchase. Okay, some of us have to do math because
but
we are single moms trying to
I
feed our
know,
kids.
I know, but I see the smallest number wins. Like that's 99 cents, and that's okay, 99 cents
But
wins.
it's not always the smallest number wins because sometimes you got to look at the unit price
I
because the
see.
smallest number compared to the
That's
unit price,
I
you
did
might
not know that.
actually be paying more than you
Yeah,
would if you bought the other
but it's
size.
traumatizing for me. So it's
I know.
and I go through each aisle and I go through and I get to the end and it's like, oh, and you put all the stuff through. It'll be like $300. Like, do you agree with this price? I go, I don't
You gotta
know.
go
I
to
don't
Costco.
fucking way I agree to that price, but I have to say yes to get out. And then I move on. Then I sit in my car and cry because it's a horrible game. Horrible. It's like an escape room. It's expensive and you get food, but you have to cook it and eat it and then do it again in another
Mhm.
week. So now I'm
Gotta
hungry.
go to Costco, man.
I gotta go to Costco.
Gotta go to Costco.
Well, on that note, Katie, it's been wonderful having you on today. And I hope you have the best weekend reading, journaling, and all the things. And just keep
Thank
being
you.
awesome and have plenty of coffee. I'm sure you're going to have your
Oh
fair
yeah,
share.
of course.
All right. Well,
Yep.
thank you, Katie, for I
Thank
love
you.
having you on today. And I hope you have a great day.
Have a good one.